Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to episode 5 of Supplier Connect webinars. My name is Mariam, and I am the Marketing and Partnerships Coordinator at Sustainability Kiosk. So today is all about electricity-free cooling, and we have leading hospitality services here with us today. So we have Atul, who is the General Manager, and we have Dylan, who is the Business Development Manager. And they will be taking over the second half of the presentation. So, so today's webinar, let me just run through the agenda, is a little bit of a welcome by myself, and then we hand over to Leading Hospitality Services to look at their i2Cool technologies, as well as exploring real-life case studies within the GCC. Then we'll do a bit of a Q&A and conversation, and then a wrap-up. So next slide. So to everybody who is unfamiliar with Sustainability Kiosk, we are a B2B platform, as well as we are sustainability consultants for the hospitality industry. And we are striving to empower hospitality and travel with solutions for net zero. So our ambition by 2026, which is a mere few months away, our mission is to facilitate 100 plus solution matchups, train 1,000 hospitality professionals through our host, which is a hospitality operational sustainability toolkit workshops, and to reach 10,000 professionals through our events, workshops, and podcasts, including our flagship Responsible Hotelier Summit, which I will get into later on, which brings together industry leaders and change makers to inspire action. So that's basically what we're working towards, and we're aiming to get to by the end of this year or by next year. So Sustainability Kiosk operates on 3 different pillars: connect, consult, and educate. And I will do each pillar as a different slide. So the first pillar is connect, and this is our marketplace platform, which is on our website. This is where we list all different solutions that are geared towards net zero. Anything from energy management to water conservation to guest and community engagement, all the way to indoor environmental quality. So we've got a whole range of different solutions. At the moment, we have 70 solutions on our website, and we're growing. All validated solutions towards net zero are listed for free, or you can pay a one-time annual membership fee for a social media promotion and free access to our year-long events. And our members receive amplified visibility through events, campaigns, and content. So if you are a provider with impact, or if you know a solution provider that has a product that is pushing towards net zero and sustainability, we would love to hear from you in future years. So do get in touch with us. The next pillar that we operate on is consult. So this is our sustainability consulting branch. And this is where we work with hotels to align them on their sustainability strategies and to ensure that they are implementing sustainability practices across the board. And we are also collaborative partners with Emirates Green Building Council, World Sustainable Hospitality Alliance, and Dubai Sustainable Tourism. And lastly, our final pillar is educate. So this is the knowledge portion of Sustainability Kiosk, which we love. So we have the Sustainability Stories podcasts. We have Kiosk and Kettle blogs. We've got the Supplier Connect webinar, which is today. We have the Responsible Hospitality newsletter, which comes out every month. We do networking as well. That's usually 3 times a year, and it's closed door for Kiosk supplier community. And we have the annual Responsible Hotelier Summit. So just ahead of the summit, we've got about just over a month to go until the summit. And as you can see on the screen, the date of the summit is on the 30th of October from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. So if you're a hotelier looking to connect with sustainable solution providers, looking to push your hotel more towards net zero, please head to our website, have a browse at what's coming, and feel free to register for tickets. We've got the early bird as well, early bird rate until the end of this month as well. So that is our final pillar, and now I'll move on. This is the team. So we are a small little bunch of four women. I want to say 4 very powerful women as well. So we have Radhika, who is the founder of Sustainability Kiosk, who I believe is on this call today. Hi, Radhika. We have Tiffany, who is Director of Sustainable Hospitality. We have Stella, who is our Customer Success Partner, and we have myself, Mariam, who handles all the marketing partnerships. If you are a hotelier on this call today, you may see Tiffany and Stella at your hotels as well, often walking around and making their rounds, looking at all the sustainable initiatives that's going on. So now, without further ado, I am going to introduce and bring on Atul, who is General Manager of Leading Hospitality Services. And Atul, over to you.
Thank you, Mariam. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you can hear me. Mariam, is it loud enough?
Yes, I can hear you well and clear. So yeah, I will be managing this. So yeah, go ahead, Atul. The floor's all yours.
Thanks a lot. Firstly, a big thank you, Mariam and Radhika, to give us this opportunity to present the passive radiative cooling technology that we have from i2Cool. So basically, LHS is Abu Dhabi based, and we have a partnership with i2Cool in Hong Kong. Now, they are basically a green tech startup and two professors who basically created the solution at the University of Hong Kong. And we are now partnering them for the Middle East, India, as well as Africa. So it's an opportunity for us to bring to the market. It's more or less a passive radiative paint as well as a film. So the application or the opportunity is to really apply this on external surfaces. You could be mainly, of course, the buildings, infrastructure, and various other industries, which I will introduce you in the coming slides. But first, let's look at this technology. Now, we have many paints globally. They are applied. We get some temperature drops on the surface of the buildings. Could be anywhere between 5-6 degrees centigrade as a drop. Now, if I tell you that when you apply the i2Cool technology externally and you could get temperature drops of about 15 degrees centigrade on the surface of a building, what makes us so different to the typical paints that would be in the market today? So in case of any application, especially whether it's a film on a glass or a paint on, let's say, a surface, which could be metal, could be concrete, is two main KPIs. One is the reflectivity and second is the emissivity. Now, the point is most of our esteemed competition partners, I would say, have reflectivity. And by that, we mean you're able to reflect the visible light, the ultraviolet light, and maybe, some of the solar radiation as well. Now, the first aspect is having a reflectivity greater than 90%, and that's exactly what i2Cool has. Now, the second KPI, which makes for even a greater impact, is the emissivity. Now, imagine you are mimicking what the Earth has today. Now, the Earth has the ability, when it's heated up on the pavements or on the roads, to still be able to emit a lot of this inherent heat, which is absorbed out into the atmosphere, not surroundings, but into the atmosphere. Now, this apparently happens at what we call a mid-infrared frequency range. As you see on the screen, there's a mid-infrared emission of 8 to 13 nanomicrons. So the i2Cool paint is able to mimic what the Earth is able to do. So now, along with the reflectivity greater than 90%, you also have the capability of removing the inherent heat absorbed on the surface of the buildings, and that at a rate greater than, again, 90%. Both these KPIs make it a very unique proposition to bring us these very large temperature drops when applied for greater than 15 degrees centigrade. Also, something unique that we saw and we have seen in many projects that we have exhibited is the ability to have the temperature drops even at nighttime. So it's not just a dependency on solar radiation, but even nighttime, you're looking at temperature drops of about 5-6 degrees. Daytime, you're looking at greater than even 15-16 degrees. Now, when we talk of the Middle East, of course, we have ambient temperatures, which are, like we are seeing right now, and we saw in the month of August as well, extreme heat. and ambient greater than even 45 degrees centigrade. We saw temperature drops more than even 20 degrees centigrade on the surface of these buildings. So, having said that, this is where the whole working, let's say, principle, as the slide says, the emissivity and the radiation or the reflectivity comes from, and makes it a unique proposition of nighttime temperature drops, daytime temperature drops, and bringing a passive radiative kind of cooling paint and giving you such kind of opportunities. Now, maybe we move on to the next slide, Mariam.
Yeah, sure. Oh, Atul, just a quick one before we move to the next slide. These images of the ants are quite interesting. Are you able to just quickly touch upon very briefly of how the ants compare?
Yeah, good point. I think I missed it out. So it's also when I spoke about the Earth being mimicked and its ability to do the emission, we also had another thing which the professors really worked on. This was the silver ants. The silver ants, which are available or living in the African Sahara Desert, have this very unique capability of the skin, which has self-cooling. So you're looking at very much this I2 cool paint when applied, creating this self-cooling. Yeah. So that's why probably the passive and the electricity free words being utilized to bring that passive cooling aspect. Thanks, Mariam.
Wonderful. Thanks, Atul.
So just more or less touched on the same thing. And of course, various industries where it's being applied today. And as you can see on the screen, we're looking at any kind of metal surface or concrete. So really the focus is even on photovoltaics. So when you look at solar panels, which have a metallic backdrop, as well as the roof where they are, let's say, installed. So you would actually see the lifespan and the efficiency of these solar panels, as an example, being improved just by applying the paint on the metallic part as well as the surrounding area of a roof, as an example. Yeah. At the moment, R&D being done on automobiles. We have logistic containers, reefers, dry food, as well as the perishable stuff. The telecom industry, where you have the substations. So yeah, it's a pretty comprehensive coverage, not just to the building industry, but to various other ones as well. It's got all the patents, as you can see, European, Hong Kong, China, as well as the US. There's a mention, if you see right at the, just a step back, and we're looking at this word payback, and you would see it in the middle here, a payback of 1 to 3 years. So we do take the next step when we do the application. We also do in-hand very detailed energy studies to come up with an ROI, which is a return on investment, as well as a payback. So on an average, you're looking at about 2-3 years as a payback. Warranty of this paint and the film is about 7 years on a minimum at least. And then you move forward, so which means you're more or less free from the third year onwards if you have a payback and an ROI of about 3. Yeah. Next one. So I'm going to quickly go through some references that we have already applied on. We're looking at the King's School here in Dubai, where we had surface temperature drops of about 12.5 degrees. And this was, I think, in the November month. So much better ambient conditions where we saw temperature drops of about even 12 degrees, calculations into kilowatts, and then that converted into the dirhams. So you had a reasonably good idea of the kind of payback that you were looking at, as an example. Yeah. Another example of a commercial building. This was one we did in India, and we had temperature drops as higher as much as 20 degrees and even above, and a payback of about 2.5 years. This was in Bangalore in India.
And I can just see here that there is quite a big drop between 50.4 degrees all the way to 29 degrees. That's 21.4 degree drop, which is absolutely massive. Yeah, that's huge.
And to mention these drops are not something that is so when we do most of the studies, what we effectively land up doing is about 3 days of readings every hour. So we're looking at about 72 to maybe 96 readings over 3 to 4 days. So we do it as intense as that. Sometimes we even do it in the summer months and we do it again in the winter months just to have a comparison and look at it as well. Yeah. Moving on to the iconic St. Regis on the Sadia Island. We did actually the roof of their ballroom, which is pretty, decent size area. And we were looking at about 22 degrees as a drop here in the summer months. So when I mention, let's say the maximum reduction of 22.7, this is probably for over about 2 to 3 hours in a day. So it's not just at an instant, but pretty much over about 2 3 hours, at least in the day, probably the hottest period. Yeah.
Oh yes, you can see here the you can see here on the graph
Exactly.
the time differences. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. This is exactly the photovoltaic one which I was talking about. This is Citibank headquarter building in Hong Kong. So now you have this dual effect where you're looking at the whole area, which is being, let's say, painted on the roof, and the metallic part, which is the part holding the solar panels. So you imagine the area around it being painted and dropped by 25.7 degrees as an example, as it shows, plus the metal part behind the panels being also cooled to really improve the photovoltaic cell output and the efficiency coming out. Yeah. So it's a dual, let's say, effect on a solar panel being used as a sustainability solution on a roof of a building. So it has a dual effect that we can bring, even if let's say, uh, solar panels are utilized as one of the solutions. The paint kind of enhances and gives a bigger opportunity as well. And now onto the film. So more or less replicating what we saw on the paint onto a film. There are various colors available. And of course, different transparencies, or let's say transmittance, that is available. I mean, what we have learned, for example, with a lot of the hotels, they want a very good visibility, from inside the hotel to the outside, as well as from the outside to the inside. Yeah. Unlike probably a lot of commercial offices who probably have a visibility or a request for it only from the inside to the outside, and from the outside
Hello, Atul?
to the lease, all available for the various different.
Atul, I think we've lost you for a couple of seconds. Could you, sorry, we lost you. Is it possible to just repeat that?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, it's what I want to mention is there are various different options for the various different applications, whether it's hotels or commercial towers, with the various visibilities and the different color options. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And just quickly going through some of the projects that we have done with the films as well. This is the headquarter building for the Pure Lab for the healthcare in Abu Dhabi. Again, we could do calculations, as you can see, with the readings, with the film and without the film at different, time during the day, basically, to kilowatts as well as into dirhams, basically.
Okay.
And then, of course, we can go on to the few other applications that are there. I think we have it for the facility at the Emirates Palace Hotel. And this was basically done for some tennis courts that they have, especially in the summer months, to be utilized. And then we have the Sheikh Khalifa Specialty Hospital at Fujairah. So these are predominantly glass buildings and taking the of the iFilm as an example. Yeah.
Okay, and then over here, this
Yeah.
graph in the corner, is this just the temperature drop over time?
So no, this is not the temperature. When we look at the film, we're looking at basically the kilowatts.
Oh,
Yeah.
the
So we're
kilowatts,
looking
okay.
at more the solar consumption, that is the watts per meter squared, basically.
Understood.
So in
Got it.
case of the film, the focus is more on the solar consumption and not so much the temperatures, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. Some ongoing applications for the future. We're looking at trying to inherently develop the paint into the ceramics. So the option where you would have ceramics available with the cooling facility rather than having to paint, let's say, the ceramic by itself, as an example. Yeah. So it's ceramic, and we have the next one, which is on the textiles. So this is an opportunity where you are looking at a very high. You see, when I talk of the textiles, we have the very typical Adidas and the Nikes where they're working on this Climber Cool and Climber Fit, where they have this ability to wear that kind of textile where you have the ability to reduce the sweat while doing sports activities. Now imagine you have the characteristics of the paint also inherently put into a textile. So you're not only getting the reflection of the heat away from your body, you're also getting the inherent cooling effect with the emissivity happening in the textile as well. So it's quite a unique technology for the textiles, and this is something that they're launching right now at the moment.
Interesting. And Atul, could you share with everybody in terms of the fabric that will be used? I can see here cotton, but will
Yeah.
all the products be cotton?
Yeah, so no, it's cotton, it's mixed. So you got basically nylon and the cotton mixed as well. So there are
Okay,
different textile fabrics available in the product.
understood. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
The second quick one, which I want to share with all of you all, is the air quality solution. Now, there's another tie-up that LHS has done, and this solution is coming from California. Now, a very niche solution as compared to what we have in the market today. Typically, when we talk of air quality, we're looking at UV, we're looking at filters, we're looking at, these are the very traditional ones. Now imagine trying to do without any chemicals, waters, filter, or, the UV, and look at a technology where we are actually able to, again, something coming out from the earth, which is to mimic the sun. Now, inherently, when the sun comes up in the morning, we are we as human beings start to feel much more energetic. Why is that? Because we're actually seeing the sun emitting electrons. And these electrons, when they combined with the oxygen in the air, you are actually looking at an ability to move the fresh air in the atmosphere and create much viable environment for us as human beings. Now imagine if that is something that you're going to be able to do with an equipment. So this is exactly what we're doing with the AQMC technology. We are replicating the sun to be able to emit electrons, which then combine with the oxygen and go through the return air in our rooms. So unlike filters or any other kind of chemicals, technology where wherever air goes, the AQMC technology goes, which means if you're looking at sitting on a table, you probably will not have the effect of UV. You will not have the effect of filter, but you will have the effect of AQMC because it is something which is flowing with the air, going to the chairs, to the back of the table, bottom of the table, and in the whole room. So imagine having such kind of a technology where it's more or less eliminating bacteria, molds, odors, and improving the whole overall quality. A lot of applications already in the market with this. Uh, some of the most hotels, such as the St. Regis, Emirates Palace, which we can really get a solution for us. I don't know, Mariam, if the video will play. I don't know how the line is, maybe, but we can give it a try.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll play that. Okay, let me just, you should all hear some sound as well. So if you can't hear any sound, do let me know.
The Air Quality Management Company
Can you hear
is a
sound?
California-based organization that has
Yes.
spent decades mastering the science behind air purification. Indoor air quality is vital to human health, as it is where we spend most of our time. However, concentrations of pollutants can be up to 5 times higher indoors than in the outdoors, which is where we come in. Our process emulates that of nature. As the sun rises each morning, it rains a cloud of electrons down on the Earth. These electrons magnetize the oxygen gas in the atmosphere, making a series of active oxygen molecules which fight and kill viruses and bacteria in the air around us. Our process, similarly, replicates the sun's effect and generates electrons which are pressurized inside the electrode tubes of the device. These electrons are emitted at a 1-meter radius from the tubes in the form of an electron shower. When the fresh air steam passes through this spray of electrons, the oxygen molecules absorb the electrons and they become active magnetic particles that then purify the air around them. The AQMC process swiftly removes odors, gases, and chemicals in less than 15 seconds. It actively kills bacteria, fungi, mold, mildew, and viruses in the air all around you and on any surface the air touches. AQMC oxygen clusters go anywhere where air goes. There's absolutely no manual cleaning with harmful chemicals involved in the process. AQMC is unlike any other air purification and cleaning product in the market. It yields consistent results, is great for the environment, is easy to install and maintain, and most importantly, guarantees you peace of mind. Sustainability and energy efficiency are at the core of our company culture. Our product has no consumables, no filters to change, no parts to clean, no chemicals to worry about, no toxic disposal to pay for, and is absolutely safe for everyone. It also consumes very little power and can safely clean the air in hard-to-reach areas. We go where air goes and do what we do best, ensuring a pure, healthy air for you, your family, and your colleagues using a natural process.
Great video. So that kind of summarizes everything about AQMC and its technology.
The Air Quality Management Company is a California-based organization that has been...
Sorry, everybody. Just move to the next slide. Okay, here we go.
Yeah. So I mean, we kind of covered it in the video itself. So it's nothing like what is available in the market today, and it's treating the actual surface and not really any specific area. It's covering the whole room. It's covering wherever air goes. That's where this air quality aspect goes. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Atul. We really enjoyed that. I mean, I enjoyed that and learning a few new bits and pieces of different cooling technologies. So I'm just going to now head back to the call because I think we have some questions and answers to go through. So I'm just going to start running through the questions and
Sure.
yeah, and then Atul, you can just respond as and when.
Absolutely.
So we have a question from Dr. Samiullah Khan, who's asking, if AQMC kills bacteria in air and surface, how about human health effect?
I mean, there is no aspect to it. Dr. Khan, in fact, this was a solution utilized in the COVID times at all the makeshift hospitals that we had in the UAE. And in fact, DHA has even given a certificate of performance as to how AQMC performed right through the COVID period. So it was a great contribution right through that time to save as well as have a huge positive impact.
Great, because he's also asked a second question, which is your solution air quality approved by Ministry of Health?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
that's
is.
good to know.
It
And
was
then
certified.
okay, and I think he is quite interested in this, as he would like to have a copy of the presentation and get in contact later.
Sure, absolutely.
Then we have a question from Audrey, who is asking, what does the eco-friendly mention for the paint refer to?
So we basically, when we say eco-friendly, I mean, it's more about, so if I understand, the real creation, so it's about concentration which is made from polymers, which is like any other, typical paint with their inherent characteristics that are available. Now that's put through any water-based or oil-based emulsion, and you get the final product. So when we talk of eco-friendly, we're really talking about the fact that we are trying to give energy savings. We are trying to create greener buildings, because obviously when we look at temperature drops, those drops are creating a scenario where the building will require lesser energy to cool it, as an example. Yeah. So this is a solution for the cooling areas, not so much on the heating side. So when the eco part or the friendly part comes in, it's really like any other paint. Yes, it's patented. Yes, of course. It's gone through all the chemical tests. It has no harmful substances in it, as done by any lab test. So as an example, that before we started marketing, we had it tested by the Dubai municipality as an example, and they gave us the certificates for it. So it's really a standard, let's say, non-harmful, and the proper chemicals that are required towards the aspect of trying to bring energy savings and greener buildings. So a combination of the two, I'll put it that way. Yeah.
Okay. Audrey, I hope that answers your question. And Audrey has another question as well, is what is the website of the material and the manufacturer, which is information that we can share after the call.
Yeah.
And Dr. Sami Ullah Khan has actually mentioned that Active Pure from NASA claims the same in referring to the AQMC. If you've got any points to share on that, it's the aeroside.com. If there's anything that you'd like to add to that at all.
No, I wouldn't know at this moment. I'll also have to look it up then. Yeah.
Okay, no worries. I mean, it's great that we have these webinars, because then I guess it's part of the knowledge sharing, and people always get to know new things. Yeah.
Would love to, be able to look at it. It's a very, very good point, Dr. Khan, to have brought up, because I must tell you that when we started with the paint solution about 3 years back here in the Middle East, I actually looked at not the paint companies as competitors, but a lot of them, I'm working with them today to provide the solution and be able to use their network, because we felt that maybe we can add value to the society. Maybe there is something that even the most, let's say, well-placed so-called paint companies would have. And maybe I2Cool is not, that well-placed, but we could utilize that network and that at a market presence, and not treat any other paint company as a competitor, but more or less we go together to see what we can bring best to the society. Yeah.
Thank you, Atul. There's a couple more points from Dr. Sami, but I'll put you two in contact so that you can take the conversation further.
Sure.
Does anybody have any other questions, any other technical questions for Atul while we're here? Anything in relating to the film, the AQMC, or the paint? Please feel free to ask. Now's the right time to ask, because you've got Atul here and he's obviously very knowledgeable on these solutions. So we'll just see if we've got any other questions. And I guess as well, I will launch another poll, which is for everybody. It's just describing your hotel's air quality or your facility's air quality in a few words, just so we can also have an understanding as to, what we feel, what the air quality is like in and around the country. So that should pop up on your screen right now. It's a word cloud, so just feel free to add a couple of words in, what you feel like your air quality is, if you feel like you can breathe, if you feel like you can't breathe, please feel free to write all in. Okay, if anybody does have any responses for the word cloud, that would be good. Just so we can share a few words. Feels good, feels clean. Good. I have the Dyson fan at home, so that kind of monitors the air quality in my place. Okay, so no more word cloud answers. That's all right then. Okay, if anybody has any other questions, please feel free again to ask anything. Oh, we've got a little notification. Thank you, Audrey. No worries. Okay, Dr. Sami has mentioned that he tested more than 5 paints. So yes, I will definitely put you in contact so that you can have a further discussion. Okay, then if there are no other questions, then we can slowly start wrapping up. You can find, if you are interested in any of Leading Hospitality Services solutions, feel free to head to Sustainability Kiosk website and our marketplace, where you'll be able to browse their 3 solutions, and then you can get in contact with them. I will also be sharing the recording of this video and any other follow-up questions and poll answers as well over the coming days. And this webinar will also be posted on YouTube. So if anybody does have any objections, please do let me know. And then, okay, one more poll from me. Sorry, everybody, just for my own knowledge. I just would like to know how what you would like to see in an upcoming Supplier Connect webinar. So another word cloud coming your way. Sorry, guys. But yeah, if you would like to see anything in relation to sustainable building materials, anything with food and beverage, anything with waste management, water conservation, please feel free to add it into this word cloud that you should see on your screens. And then we can always arrange to get a webinar sorted. Can everybody see it, or is it just?
No, you can see it.
Oh, you can see it. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So we've got innovative solutions, air quality, waste management, solid credibility. It's a good one. And energy audits, responsible sourcing. Wonderful. These are great answers, everyone. Thank you very much. Innovative solutions. Yes, these are great answers. So we can get started on creating a webinar with a solution provider that can talk about these things. Okay. Then that is all from my end. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I will send, as mentioned earlier, I will send a follow-up email. Thank you, Atul, for leading the webinar and for the presentation and for all of your knowledge.
Thank you
yes,
Pleasure.
very much appreciate it. Thank you, Dylan, as well, wherever you are on the call, Dylan. And thank you, Rahul, as well. Yes, so we can wrap up now then. And thank you very much, everyone. Have a good day.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot. Bye, everybody. Bye.